Hi guys! Welcome to Simone's Little Shop. So today I'm going to be drawing a self-portrait, and while I do that, I'm going to tell you guys a little story time of one of my biggest fails as an artist. Hear any weird noises, my ferret is out and he's scratching at everything. Here's the little troublemaker. This is Augie. He's my little baby. Can you stop making noise so I can make a video? Okay, so to get this video started, I am a full-time artist. I have been for 4 years now, almost 5 years, and all of my friends are all very supportive. They know I have to do a lot of different things, like I don't just sell on Etsy. So any opportunity where they think I can get my art in somewhere, they will let me know. So I got a text from a friend, and she was like, hey, we're at this cafe and there's art up on the walls. And she was like, you should reach out to them and see if you can get your art put up on the walls too. And I had messaged them before. I reached out to basically every cafe I could find on Google Maps. And I asked them if any of them would want murals. I asked them if any of them would let me put my art up on the wall to decorate their space and to expose my art to more eyes. I had gotten another cafe that had answered, and I do have my art up in another cafe, but this cafe that my friend was at hadn't answered. They hadn't answered my email. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll try again. So I reached out on Instagram, and they actually did respond to me, and they were like, yeah, we'd love to have your art displayed on the wall. Totally free of charge. They just called it like their little local art wall. So I went in. It ended up talking with the manager, I believe. I was never talking to the owner. It was all the manager. Like, I met up with him. It was this very young guy. I was like, oh, I thought I was talking to the owner the whole time. I get in there, I set up my art, I put my QR code on there directly to my shop, and it was great. I had 4 or 5 paintings up. I don't really remember, it's been so long now. I did put up 2 of my favorite pieces. Keep that in mind. But yeah, I had these pieces up there for a pretty long time, which was fine. I mean, I wasn't imagining they would sell immediately. I like just being able to expose my art to more eyes, even if it wasn't making me any money. It wasn't costing me anything, so I was fine with them just sitting there. Because if they weren't sitting in the cafe and getting looked at, they would just be sitting in my office at home and no one's looking at them. And it's art. I want people to look at it, whether I'm making money or not. I just create so people can have more color and art in their lives. I don't know. Just a nice feeling just to know that people see your art every day. It was a very busy local cafe. Everyone loved that place. Flash forward to a couple months later, I open up Instagram and I see a post from the cafe that says something along the lines of like, we're so sorry, the store is gonna be closed until further notice. It was pretty like nonchalant from what I believe. I don't remember reading it and being like, oh my God, but the comments is what concerned me. So I opened up the comments and everyone was like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry to hear about it. Like, we hope everyone's okay. And I was like, what? What happened over there? So I think I looked it up on the news, or I think I just Googled the cafe. And guess what pops up? A picture pops up on Google of the cafe up in flames. like, there was flames coming out of the roof, like the building was engulfed in flames. So I was like, well, like just from the picture, I could envision where my art was on the wall, and I was like, there's no way that it survived this fire. They said it was a kitchen fire. No one was hurt. The whole art wall was displayed right next to the kitchen. So I was like, okay, if the fire is coming out of the roof, it's safe to say the wall of art on the other side of the kitchen is probably gone. But you know, like, mind you, this is my full-time job. I still had these paintings listed on my Etsy. So if someone from another state tried to purchase them, I would need to go pick up the painting and ship it. But I wasn't even sure if they had survived. And on top of that, obviously I never expected a fire to happen. So I kind of put all my eggs in one basket, and I was like, okay, this is like a cafe that draws in a lot of people. It's very busy. Like, you're hard pressed to find a seat on a weekend, like during brunch. Like, it's busy. So I got very excited when I heard I could put my art in there. So I put a lot of art in there. I had like over $500 worth of my work in that cafe. As an artist, I don't create $500 worth of work in a day. You know, like that was a lot of time and energy that I put into those pieces, and just for it to be gone like that was very scary to me. I mean, my portfolio on my Etsy was not that big. Like, I didn't have a lot of original pieces listed at the time. So if those were all gone, then I lost half my portfolio at once. And like, all of a sudden, like, I'm a full-time artist and I have no art listed. Like, it was not a good situation. So after I saw that there was a fire, I reached out to the person that I had been in communication with before. It was all on Instagram DMs. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry about the fire. Like, I'm really glad everyone's okay. I was just wondering if any of my work was okay. And I never got a response, assuming because everyone got laid off, so suddenly he didn't have a job anymore, and I guess he didn't have access, or he just wasn't answering the DMs anymore, or maybe their DMs were getting flooded with like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about the fire, like that sort of thing. So I don't know what the deal was. I don't know the details, but I never got a response. So I kind of just like stopped worrying about it, and I took the listings down. Even if they are okay, if I can't get contact of the owner, I can't get inside to get them. So I was like, either way, I have to take the listings down. A couple months later, I actually had a family friend that knew the owner. She ended up giving me his number. So I messaged the owner, and like a long time later, like it took him a while to get back to me, he finally responded. He asked me how much I would need to be reimbursed for it, and I told him. I gave him the price of all of them were listed for on my Etsy. And he said, to be honest, I don't think I'll be able to get you that. If anything, I might just be able to get you material cost. Material cost. Material cost! So for obvious reasons, material cost is not going to cut it. The material cost for art isn't always high, but you could sell it for a lot higher than what it is because it's art. Does that make sense? Like a canvas, for example. A blank canvas might only be $50, but if you put hours of time and energy into it and you make an art piece out of it, it's gonna be worth more than $50. Otherwise, artists wouldn't make any money. Like, your time is worth nothing? I guess it's worth nothing. I don't know. I didn't argue with him because I was just like, you know what, dude, you just lost your building. So I'm not gonna sit over here and be all up in your ear like, you need to pay me for my art. I mean, maybe I should have raised more hell. I don't know. I was hurting for the loss of like my art. That was really upsetting. Like, I definitely had like a hard time getting over that because those were, as I said, some of my favorite pieces. And it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but one of the pieces is actually called The Growing Pains of Getting Over It. And I painted that to represent the feeling of mourning loss, and like slowly, like as you're mourning it, like you're slowly getting over it, and just like what that feels like and like what that might look like in an art piece. It's really about mourning death, but the fact that the fact that a painting about mourning death got burnt in a fire is just kind of funny to me in an awful way. But yeah, he basically told me like, trying to get a claim from your insurance or whatever after you have an accident like this, it can take years. And he was just like, I don't think I'd be able to get you that money. I mean, after that, I was just kind of like, okay, well, I just kind of let it go after that. The growing pains of getting over it, I guess. I'll move on eventually. I mean, I've moved on already, but it still does suck. I guess moral of the story is expect the unexpected. And I will say the one that was about mourning loss is my most sold art print. But we can't dwindle on the past. But yeah, that's my story time. And before we go, here is the finished portrait. Here, let me get a shot of my messy desk so you can see it not inverted. Does it look like me? Thank you guys for watching this story time. Make sure you subscribe if you'd like to hear more art fails, art successes. I'm a full-time artist, small business owner. So I've been through some things in the last couple years and I'd love to share them with you guys. Bye guys!